Some songs make you sing, others make you think, but just a few go further, they make you uncomfortable, challenge norms, rattle the system, and make a whole lot of noise. That's why, in this video, you're going to discover 13 songs from the 70s that shocked the world. Some were banned, others harshly criticized, and many still spark debate today. But they all have one thing in common: they crossed a lineage and did it through music. Ready to hear them like you've never heard them before? Because after this, you'll never listen to them the same way again. Released in 1971, Imagine became the most iconic song of John Lennon's solo career.
But I'm not the only one. Life in peace.
Co-written with Yoko Ono, it was meant as a call for peace and global unity. But despite its gentle melody and pacifist tone, its lyrics sparked fierce backlash from conservative and religious groups. The line, "Imagine there's no heaven," was branded heretical by many, particularly in the US and South Africa, where some radio stations banned the song entirely. Lennon was fully aware of its impact, once calling it the Communist Manifesto sugar-coated with music. The controversy grew as Imagine became a staple at political protests and social movements. Traditional media, including major television networks, refused to broadcast it. Even the Vatican condemned it as anti-religious. Still, Lennon never backed down. In interviews, he defended the song as an invitation to think, not to provoke.
Woman, hear me roar, in numbers too big.
When Helen Reddy released I Am Woman in 1972, it quickly became a feminist anthem during the height of the women's liberation movement. Co-written with lyricist Ray Burton, the song celebrated strength, independence, and female resilience. Feminist groups embraced it as a symbol of empowerment, but not everyone welcomed it. Many male-dominated radio stations refused to play it, calling it divisive and overly political. Reddy faced personal attacks from critics, who accused her of alienating male audiences. She stood firm, stating that the song was a reflection of her own experience as a woman in the music industry. I Am Woman eventually hit #1 on the Billboard charts, making Reddy the first Australian artist to win a Grammy in the US. Her acceptance speech, "I'd like to thank God," because she makes everything possible, fueled the debate even further. Country star Loretta Lynn shook up the genre in 1975 with The Pill, a song that openly discussed birth control and a woman's right to control her body. With no sugarcoating, the lyrics told the story of a woman tired of forced pregnancies, ready to claim her freedom. In the conservative world of country music, the backlash was swift. Dozens of stations banned the song, labeling it offensive to family values. But The Pill struck a powerful chord with women who saw their lives reflected in its message. Lynn didn't back down. She defended her right to sing about a reality many women lived, but few dared to voice in public. As the UK celebrated Queen Elizabeth II's Silver Jubilee, the Sex Pistols dropped a bombshell: "God Save the Queen." It wasn't just a song, it was a direct attack on the British monarchy. Calling the system a fascist regime, the band ignited one of the biggest scandals in punk history. The BBC and multiple British radio stations immediately banned the track. Major retailers refused to sell it, and many believe it was deliberately blocked from reaching #1 on the charts, despite massive sales. The backlash was intense. The band received death threats, were attacked in public, and banned from performing at venues across the country. But the controversy only fueled their fame. The song became an anthem for disillusioned youth, and the Pistols used the censorship as a tool to amplify their message, becoming true icons of counterculture. Released in 1972, My Ding-a-Ling became Chuck Berry's only #1 hit on the Billboard Hot 100. On the surface, it seemed like a playful, kid-friendly tune with a catchy hook, but beneath that was a string of sexual double entendres. The lyrics made ambiguous references to the male sexual organ, sparking outrage from conservative groups. Several radio stations refused to play it, and activist organizations called for it to be pulled, branding it vulgar and inappropriate. Barry performed it with a winking, humorous tone on stage, emphasizing the comedic aspect, but the controversy didn't fade. Many stations limited its airplay, and television programs avoided featuring it altogether. Still, the track was a massive commercial success. Its linguistic ambiguity was key. Innocent enough to slip past some censors, but edgy enough to upset traditionalists. Released in 1970, Lola quickly became one of the most talked about songs of the year. Written by Ray Davies, it tells the story of a romantic encounter between a man and a trans woman in a London nightclub. Though playfully told and musically upbeat, its theme of gender identity triggered immediate backlash from conservative circles. The BBC temporarily banned It Not for its sexual content, but for referencing Coca-Cola, which violated rules on product placement. Davies famously flew from the US to London mid-tour just to re-record the line with Cherry Cola so the song could air. Even after the edit, Lola remained controversial. Some called it inappropriate, while others praised it as a bold and progressive portrayal of gender diversity, a rarity in 70s rock. Do you think the song was truly controversial or just misunderstood? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Released in 1970, War was a direct, uncompromising protest against the Vietnam War. Its iconic refrain war, "What is it good for? Absolutely nothing," was first recorded by The Temptations, but it was Edwin Starr's powerful delivery that gave it explosive impact. While it was a commercial hit, the song stirred serious discomfort in pro-war sectors of the US, where it was seen as an attack on the military itself. Radio stations, especially those in military-heavy areas, pulled it from playlists. Conservative groups tried to ban it, claiming it undermined support for American troops. Motown stood behind Starr, and War became an anthem for protesters and peace movements across the country, a sonic middle finger to the establishment. Recorded by Ringo Starr in 1973, You're 16 was a cover of Johnny Burnett's 1960 hit. Though the song was presented with a light, nostalgic tone, its lyrics drew criticism for glorifying a romantic relationship between an adult and a 16-year-old girl. At a time when social and political awareness was growing, many felt the song sent a problematic message about relationships involving minors. The controversy was amplified by Starr's public image as a former Beatle, giving the song even wider exposure. Despite reaching #1 on the Billboard Hot 100, You're 16 was met with pushback from critics and radio stations alike. Several stations pulled it from rotation, citing concerns over the increasing sensitivity toward the sexualization of minors in media. Released in 1971, Brown Sugar sparked immediate controversy with its explicit references to slavery, interracial sexual encounters, and abuse. Written by Mick Jagger, the lyrics painted provocative images of enslaved women, mingled with sexual innuendo. While the song's guitar, riff, and rhythm made it an instant classic, the lyrical content was considered offensive even by the era's looser standards. Some radio stations refused to air it, and critics questioned whether the song was a critique or a glamorization of abuse. The ambiguity fueled years of debate, making it one of the most controversial tracks in the band's catalog. Years later, Jagger himself admitted that he probably wouldn't write that song today. Released in 1973 as part of The Dark Side of the Moon, Money was a direct critique of capitalism and greed. Built around an unusual time signature and sound effects of cash registers, the song's lyrics called out society's obsession with wealth. Despite its musical sophistication, the song was seen as ideologically subversive in some circles. In apartheid-era South Africa, it was censored along with other tracks deemed to promote equality or rebellion. In the US, conservative and religious groups accused Pink Floyd of attacking traditional values and pushing a cynical view of success. Still, Money became one of the band's most commercially successful singles, and Roger Waters' lyrics exposed the tension between material wealth and human decency. Released in 1973, Tie a Yellow Ribbon Round the Old Oak Tree by Tony Orlando and Dawn quickly rose to the top of international charts. The song tells the story of a man returning home from prison, asking his partner to tie a yellow ribbon around an oak tree if he's welcome back. While it seemed like a harmless ballad about redemption, it was soon adopted by groups supporting U.S. military involvement in Vietnam, giving the song an unintended political edge. The controversy grew as it became a symbol of troop support, sparking criticism from anti-war groups and splitting public opinion. Some military-affiliated radio stations refused to play it, arguing that it trivialized the real experiences of soldiers. Critics also noted that its cheerful tone clashed uncomfortably with the harsh reality of an unpopular war. Did you know this backstory, or did it catch you by surprise? Tell us how it hit you in the comments. Released in 1972, Walk on the Wild Side was one of the boldest songs of its time. Written as a tribute to the real-life personalities from Andy Warhol's Factory, the lyrics included open references to transgender identity, sex work, drug use, and sexual fluidity at a time when such themes were entirely taboo. The BBC banned the track outright, and many US stations refused to play it, calling it inappropriate for mainstream audiences. Lines like "he shaved his legs" and "then he was a she" and "giving head to a man" were delivered with unapologetic clarity, a rarity in music with such wide reach. Despite the censorship, the song became a cultural landmark, embraced by the LGBTQ+ community as a rare moment of visibility in mass media. Lou Reed never denied its provocative nature. Instead, his storytelling approach gave the song a documentary-like realism that defined his solo legacy. In 1975, Donna Summer shook the disco world with Love to Love You Baby, produced by Giorgio Moroder. The track was designed as a celebration of female pleasure, with moans and breathy vocals mimicking an orgasm. The original version ran over 16 minutes, made for clubs, but even the radio edit caused waves. Stations across the US and Europe banned the track, labeling it as excessively sexual. Despite the backlash, the song became a massive hit on the dance floor. Summer faced harsh criticism from conservative circles, but the scandal only boosted her fame. In some countries, the track was even classified as adult content due to its intensity. In the 70s, music wasn't just something you danced. Toit became a megaphone, a protest, a statement of identity. Each of these songs challenged the fragile status quo, daring to question what was taken for granted. Not all were understood in their time. Some were banned, others attacked, but none went unnoticed. If you've made it this far, let us know which of these stories felt the boldest, the most unfair, or the most powerful. And if there's a 70s track that stirred up controversy and didn't make the list, drop it in the comments. If you enjoyed this trip through sound and rebellion, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell. We'll see you in the next video where music lives forever.